Hey guys, welcome to a podcast with my friend Dr. Ben Johnson. Ben, I'm glad you're here. Osmosis skincare has been a very important part of our industry for many years, so thank you for everything that
Thank you for having me.
done. We're sitting in New York. You can probably see a little bit of the show behind us. It is the old IECSC and IBS that we have rebranded as Be Well for Beauty and Wellness, and Osmosis has been a wonderful sponsor for, 20 years? I can't.
Coming on 18.
18
I
years.
love that they went to Be Well because wellness was such a big part of our story, and I was just realizing that when I showed up this morning. It's like, oh man, that's perfect for us.
And you've paid your dues to be here, and people look to Osmosis as a leader in the industry. You guys have done an amazing job coming out with new products all the time. They are always moving forward and on the edge, which is why I know your clientele is extremely loyal to you, and that's a wonderful thing, and you've built that and earned that over the years too.
Yeah, I mean, well, the focus has always been the same, and that's part of what I was going to say, that's part of what I love about myself, is that we stay focused. But the truth of the matter is that... with
Meet my friend Ben, he loves himself.
We should all give ourselves a hug right now. No, but you want the message to be the same, because a lot of times in this industry, there's a shift. It's like, well, what's happening and what's the latest trend? Oh, I'm going to shift to that ingredient and tell that story. And for Osmosis, we've been consistent in saying that same holistic medical message. Wellness is a critical part of the story, and so that's what I was trying to say.
You said it well. For our listeners of Flock and Gather, which is our podcast we do through the Spa Industry Association, many of our listeners know that I have repeated this mantra over and over and over for the last umpteen years. Educate, educate, educate. Yeah. And I know it's a huge part of what you're doing, and there's been kind of a breakthrough in the last year, and I would like for you to address a little bit about tech and AI, and what does the go forward look like now for skincare?
Yeah, it's an interesting, well, first of all, I love that part of what, Be Well tells us is that the go forward is in a combination of wellness and topical approaches to skin health and well-being, because we recognize that the internal well-being and internal balance of every person is reflected on their skin. And so this merging of these two worlds is perfect. It's always been the message we preached. But beyond that, I mean, obviously this explosion of AI and the explosion of tools, they can go good and bad. I mean, I think in this industry, one of the challenges I happen to notice at this show is there's an abuse of it. I think it's harder to know what you're really looking at. I think there's some evidence of before and after manipulation of pictures, so sales pitches and that. But more importantly, this industry is moving to an AI-driven industry. Their brands are being found, discovered, if you will, on the search engines that are now the AI engines. Google is, becoming less and less of a factor.
Right.
And
so, Ben, when we talk about AI, for a lot of people, it's go on chat and say who won the World Series in 1984, and they think that's the use of AI, and we know that isn't the use of AI when it comes to skincare. So this is a little more particular. It's a little closer to home. You've adapted a process called Ask Dr. Ben.
Yeah,
right?
well, the broad picture that I wanted to make sure everyone understood is you get out of it what you put in. And so what's happening in AI today is, it's certainly true that if you had a medical condition and you put in your symptoms, that it might actually correctly diagnose you. But the problem in skincare is the truth isn't in the textbooks right now.
Right.
The truth we've discovered on Osmosis is a far more complex involvement of different things like too much yeast in the body called candida, pesticide toxins, food preservative toxins, chlorine, like all these different contributors. And AI doesn't know this information. And so when you ask AI what causes acne, its answer is it's a bacterial skin infection. And what do I do to treat it? Its answer is antibiotics or topical benzoyl peroxide or something.
Those are the old answers that have gone on forever, right?
And AI is trained on the old stuff.
Okay.
And so what was challenging for us, and I think challenging for a lot of brands in this industry, is, well, how do I use this AI and mold it to the message that is our brand, like our ingredients and so forth. And it's really hard. And so what Ask Dr. Ben AI is it's really, I think, the most advanced AI tool available today. I've seen dermatology tools. I'll give you an example. So there are skin analysis tools, there's very few of them, but a couple of cool ones. And they'll read your skin and they'll tell you what a dermatologist might tell you, that you've got wrinkles and you've got spots and that's a rash, whatever it might tell you. But the problem is it doesn't tell you, well, what caused that rash? Where did those spots come from? What is the real way to treat wrinkles, and what is the true source of wrinkles? So we created a whole ecosystem around the knowledge base that I've been talking about for 25 years, and that has allowed us to only tap into this information. And what's so fun about it is skin mapping, which is a trademarked term for us, and it's funny because I'm here at this show talking to people and I'm like, oh yeah, we do skin mapping. They're like, oh yeah, I know about that.
No, they don't. They heard the words, they don't know what they're
Yeah,
doing.
and then oh, you mean that map where it said, oh, you might get extra oily here, and oh yeah, this is a common place where wrinkles show up. I mean, those skin maps are useless, right? But what we've learned is the organs show up in specific areas. So, this is your large intestine. Right around your nose is your stomach. And so right now there's an epidemic going on of redness around the nose. It's an actual inflammatory condition in the stomach. So we treat the internal cause of that and make that redness go away. I'm telling you, half the people I talk to today have it. It's caused by really common supplements like probiotics and collagen. So the cool thing about Ask Dr. Ben AI is you get on there, you submit your picture, and it knows exactly where the zones are. It identifies whether it's redness or acne or a brown spot.
Okay, so I've heard Dr. Ben say that I have wrinkles and redness around the nose because he's looking carefully at my face when he's saying all these things. So
I'm winking.
Okay, so get on with me. Let's do this.
So you can submit a picture or you can take a picture.
Okay,
and,
people are going to download the app. Is that correct?
Yeah, if you go right now, Ask Dr. Ben is under the advice section in the Osmosis Beauty website, and you just go to the app, and it looks like this, and it has some sample questions, and you can ask a verbal question. You don't have to submit your picture, and you don't want to submit a picture with a smile or with makeup, but Allan's taking all his makeup off for this interview.
Makeup's off, glasses are off. Here we go. Don't smile.
So I'm going to take photo now. Guess what you don't do? You don't put
the cover over the camera. We got that part.
Okay, take photo now. Allow the camera to be used. Oh, there's Allan. Okay. So now, this is good.
I don't know. I'm scared when he says this is good. What does that mean?
This is good because it's got all kinds of information it's going to share with Allan. And by the way, if you're in a kind of, if you're sensitive to criticism, just do this when you've had, when you're feeling better about yourself, because it will be extra analytical for sure. Okay, so here's what Allan has. And you'll see this list, if you can see it from there. Here. So Allan has H. pylori.
Mm-hmm, sure.
A little bit of liver rosacea, which I think is a little harsh. I wouldn't say you have that much of that. And facial fat pad loss. So this is an interesting one. So what I did is I just clicked on liver rosacea, but I'm actually going to click off of that and go to H. pylori. So now, and you'll see here below that says foods to avoid, supplements to avoid.
Yep.
So that's specifically for your skin. So what are the supplements that cause redness right around the nose?
Collagen,
probiotics. Ingredients like ascorbyl palmitate. It's crazy, the list. We have it for you.
By the way, for our listeners, I know that you cannot see this clearly, but this is so easy to look at on the app. You're not going to get confused by downloading the data and answering the questions. It's simple under there.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Each section is specific. So for Allan, H. pylori has its own section. It's giving you how many doses to take, how to take the doses to treat this, and it's giving you the follow-up. This is the second product you need. Right?
What I see
and then the topical.
What I see is I'm headed down to Osmosis to spend a boatload of money, and that part is okay.
This is the
well, and here's the thing. For a man of my age, which is like 35, I want to age gracefully. I'm not against aging. Anti-aging is not for me. I want to age gracefully. This is a system I can do that with because it continues to help me internally and externally get to the place that I want to be.
Well, that's the thing, is honestly, and I would argue, it's interesting, different parts of the country have different aging patterns, and when I see whatever my estimated age of you is, you are aging well, but I will see certain parts of the country where they have a lot more toxin exposure. Their 50-year-old looks a lot older than the 50-year-old in other places, and so how you treat yourself internally matters. Detoxing, restoring the fat pads. So for example, if I may pick on Allan, so look at Allan and these lines in his forehead. Almost all of us have this after age 50. That's actually volume loss. It's not sun damage. Allan's not a big beach goer.
No, but I live in the desert, but I'm conscious of SPF and wide brim hats, and I pull on golf sleeves, and so I'm trying to do all the things to protect.
So there's the misunderstanding, is that in fact sun is not the primary cause of those lines in your forehead, if you have them, or the lines between your brows. There's a pillow of fat called a structural fat pad that we lose over time from sugar, alcohol. If you're really thin, it'll actually, like a lot of women who run really low body fat, that'll come off really quickly if you exercise. Boy, if you're a woman who's 16% body fat and you like to run every day or you exercise hard, it'll just suck the fat right out of those fat pads. And so we have a product that treats that. So that's what it recommended for you, is that product. And then what's cool, and I think this is where the industry is going, to speak to how does tech help these people right now? I don't think AI really helps. The average esthetician, when you walk in the door, it doesn't tell them to use their products they're selling. It doesn't tell them anything about where everything started from. So AI it's going to be an interesting analysis to see how businesses incorporate it.
I'll tell you what I see after 30 odd years in this industry.
So you started when you were 5?
When I was 5.
Okay.
I'll be 68 this year, but
68? Come on. All right.
And you can't get rid of me yet. Educate has always been the mantra over and over the years, whether it's skincare or anything else that we're working on in this industry.
Yeah.
And I love it because we are an industry that soaks up education. It's a place you guys do an amazing job in. Tech is something you're adding to your toolbox, right? This doesn't take away from a good SD understanding her business. This is an add-on that helps her be better at helping.
It's such a great point.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what we learned in medical school, which is always so funny. It's like you could tell your patient 5 things, just 5 things. They're walking away with maybe 1. Like they didn't hear what you're going to say. So even though the esthetician might be massaging their face and saying, "Oh, here's what's going on with your skin," how much of it absorbs? Maybe 20%. So now you have the written dialogue. Go home and read this. This is how you remember it. And one of the other things that estheticians struggle with is inventory management. So here you are, you're an esthetician, your cash flow is always a little bit tight, and you're like, which products do I keep in, which ones do I not? Well, when they get done with this AI, they might have 6 or 7 products that really are going to make a difference, and so you end up going, shoot, I don't have this one or that one. Well, what makes this one fun is once it reads off that you, for example, we were just treating your H. pylori, it gives them all the products, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. And what we created is a system where this is on their website. When they add to cart, we ship it for them to the client. They get 40% of the sale, so they're getting almost the full amount of the sale. And to me, that takes away the inventory issue, takes away the shipping hassle.
Yes.
And you probably sell more products because now you have the full arsenal available to them.
Well, and frankly, I don't even think it's selling at this point. Right? When you've diagnosed a client clearly and said, we can help with X, Y, and Z, why wouldn't you want the product? So it takes, because people don't always sell well in our business. We didn't go to school to be salespeople. So you take that away, you've taken away the inventory hassles. They're still going to make 40 points on selling the product. It seems to me to be a no-brainer. Why would everyone not be buying Osmosis?
Yeah, well, and I think that it's such a good point that sales is probably the most challenging skill set among estheticians, because a lot of you guys got into this business to help other people. And what you realize is when you're giving products that really help and you're treating the source of the skin problem, you're not selling.
No.
Now you're just helping, and it's so easy to do. So I'm so glad about that.
Yeah, and SDs know this as well. their clients, the minute that they're out and the first person says to them, oh my God, Ben, your skin is amazing, what did you do? That's all they need to hear to be on board and understand why this is so wonderful.
Right, it sells itself every month. They're on the products, and so it's going to be super fun. Now, we just launched this, and so the traction and everything we know is going to be really exciting, but I can't wait to get all the feedback.
Okay, a couple things as we wrap up.
Yeah.
What is the website? What's the right web address to go to?
Osmosisbeauty.com.
And when they go to osmosisbeauty.com, they're going to click on what?
Click on everything. There's so much to learn. No, but you go to the advice.
After they click on everything.
Okay. You go to the advice section,
Yep.
and you go to Ask Dr. Ben AI, and you'll see that it'll pop right up. It'll ask you if you want to put one of your clients' photos in, or if you want to take a photo yourself and do it.
And can they download the app to is there an Osmosis app they're going to be able to download directly to their phone so they can have this ready all the time?
Well, as my brilliant son who built this says to me, you really don't want an app where you have to keep up with Apple all the time, changing, and you've got to fix that. He said, but what you do is you create a system where this becomes an app. So he's told me it'll be easy. Everyone will have it'll feel like an app, but it's actually simply grabbing the website and using it that way.
We know that our SDs love education, and I would tell you, go to osmosisbeauty.com, at least explore what is going on, because this is the next generation that you're going to add to your education pool as you move forward. It seems to me to be a no-brainer, especially the non-selling part that says clients will want to buy retail from you. They just can't help it after they've gone through this process.
And we can't emphasize enough that client loyalty is built on results, and a sense that you can help them in so many different ways. And so what we end up seeing is, as you mentioned, our clients are very loyal to us. Equally as important, and probably more so, is how loyal your clients will be to you when you have real answers that their doctor didn't give them. By the way, like 65% today get their doctor advice and they don't like it. They don't want to follow it. They don't want the antibiotic in this steroid.
You know that there was a moment when doctors were God, and we went to the doctor and your head, like whatever they said, people do all their own research first now.
Yeah.
Then they listen to the doctor, and they might fight
fight
with the doctor as well. You won't fight with Dr. Ben because he's got it figured out. And what I also heard is, even if you're using other skincare lines, and there are other good skincare lines out there, but I think once you've looked at this app and you understand how Osmosis is making suggestions, making it easy for your clients to age gracefully, you're going to be an Osmosis Beauty customer. Dr. Ben, thank you for being with us today. Always appreciate it. I learn a lot when I hang out with you. So
yeah, good. And we're going to get him all fixed up. Next time you see him, 35.
Thanks for being with us today.